I'm Jenny Hougah, and I am a realistic painter and an art instructor. We're here today. We're going to be doing some painting together with acrylic paint, and our project is called Geopoppin'. So, Geopoppin' with acrylic paint. This is set for 6th to 8th graders. So, welcome. A little bit about our project today. We'll use canvas paper and acrylic paint to create 5 paintings based on interesting designs that you'll create. You'll get plenty of experience mixing paint and painting, as well as becoming familiar with some artist terms. All right, so we have our Geopoppin' project number 3, where we're going to explore our favorite color. My favorite color is green. And we are going to explore green with tints and black. Now, perhaps your color is yellow, perhaps it's another color, it's fine. But you're going to put that right in the center of your palette paper. The palette paper is the waxy paper, and that's where you're going to put the paint that you're going to grab to put onto your painting paper. The painting paper is going to be either canvas paper or mixed media paper. You're going to have your water, you're going to have your brush, and you will have a drawing paper, scrap sheet of paper, and your scissors. All right. So I've got all of my materials here. The first step is going to be, again, to paint my background surface. So I'm going to choose either black or white. It is already white. So you can either leave it white, it's totally up to you. You can leave it white, or you can go with black. I am going to go with a black background. It's not going to be totally dark because it's thin, but it'll create a nice contrast to the green that I'm going to be making. So you can choose to leave it black, you can choose to leave it white, or you can go ahead with black. It's going to be up to you. So again, I've got a really messy background, which I personally love, and because there's stuff that's going to go on top of it. There's a bunch of shapes that we're going to be putting on top. So a nice, varied background looks nice to add when we have stuff on top of it. All right, so now we're going to create a stencil. Stencils are fun. You can create them whenever you want. I just took regular computer paper, drawing paper. You can draw a design. You can just cut a design out of it, however you want to work it. I'm not sure what your design is going to look like. But mine, I like curves, so I guess I'm going to cut a curve. Cut, have a straight, jagged edge as well. And I know it opens up. That's kind of interesting. I'll do diagonal. You can do whatever you want. So I've got a little shape that I like. I like the outline. I like the different interior shapes, which I just made by folding different areas and cutting inside. And once I open it up, it's symmetrical on one area, but still kind of interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on my paper and I'm going to trace it, flipping it, turning it around as I trace, leaving little areas, but maybe overlapping it so that I can create smaller shapes within this. All right, so I just overlapped it twice, switching it, flipping it. I just did it once this way, I just traced it, and then I traced it like this. So now I have areas where there's a big area, and then there's smaller areas, and then there's medium-sized areas. And I kind of like this because I get to explore my favorite color green through filling in my shapes with either pure green, a tint of green where I add white, or a shade of green where I add black. So all 3 of these, and I get to experiment. Since you do have smaller areas, I recommend getting your smaller brush. So I have done that already. So I'm going to start just with regular green and see what happens. And this is a reminder to dry off your brush before you go and grab some paint. All right, so I have filled in the first green shape, and now I get to go ahead in and start adding a tint or a shade. I'm going to start out with my tints. So I'll grab a little bit of white, put it in the center, and I'm just going to use the color that is left on my brush. And I'm going to start there. I think I'm just going to start inside the original shape and just see how that changes, how that is different than the shape that's on the outside. I'm going to keep doing that throughout all these different shapes and see what happens. Really fun thing to notice is when you add a shade to your tint. So I have some green in the center. I added a little bit of tint, so I grabbed some white and I tinted it a bit. And then you know what I did? I came over here and I grabbed a little bit of the black and I added the black shade to the tint. And it completely changed the way that my color looks. And I can really get to see that when I put it right up against the other colors that I've been doing. So I only did it for the little tiny section that's between the pure green, the tinted green, and then I just have a little bit of shade within my tinted green. So I'm just going to continue and do that. Different colors, different tints, different shades of my green and complete filling in all the different shapes. All right, so I have filled in my shapes and left a few open because that's what I like. If you want to just use the white side, not the white side, I'm sorry. If you want to just use white and not change the color to black, that's totally fine because you can always fill in the colors, the shapes with black, full black if you want to, a full shade of green. Same thing with the white. You can do a full shade of white, which I'm going to do an example. I'm going to fill one of these in with just pure white because that is on the spectrum of all the way lightest to all the way darkest of a color. There is always white and there is always black. So I will have that as well. And a cool thing to do on the edge of any kind of paper like this is to do the spectrum. So I have starting with my white, with my tint of green, my pure, it's got a little bit of white in it. That's supposed to be my pure green, which I can do another layer to make it even brighter. And here is the tint, the shade. This is a shade of green, and then this is pure black. So I've actually gone ahead and used all of them inside of my shape. And I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. So I will probably hang this up in my room because I really love green. I made this homemade design, which I'm really kind of proud of. And I am excited to hang it up and to look at it